Yo, what's up, guys? SK here, and today we're playing Grime Colors of Rot. Now, this game was given to me by Keymail. It's a free review copy of this game, and so thanks to those guys over there for that. This game is actually a Dark Souls-like 2D side, well, 2.5D side scroller because it's not fully 2D. It's more 3D to be honest, but it's not three-dimensional in the aspect of your movement. You can only move up and down on the screen. Now, when I say Dark Souls, like the game is very dependent upon your skill level because it takes just a few things for you to get knocked out of the game and having to restart at the spot where you were. You don't lose your what would be souls on Dark Souls. We call them mass on Grime. You don't lose your mass when you die, but you do lose your ardor, which is the number that's right next to the HP bar in the top left corner. Now, your ardor is a thing that's like multipliers for the amount of mass you get, which helps you level up a lot quicker. Um, Now, to be honest, this game is not as easy as it seems. Like, looking at me playing, you're probably like, oh man, you're making a bunch of mistakes. But you have to time the fact that you're forced little green, the green resource that's under your orange health up there, that goes away with every dodge and every attack. And it drops dramatically every time you use it, which is why you don't want to die as much because you have to build up your mass. You have to build up your mass so you can level up your force, so you can have more attacks and more dodges and get through things easy. You see, I can do probably like 4 dodges before I'm out of mass. I can probably do 3 to 4 attacks as well. So I have to balance my attacks in between my dodges and my attacks. Now, a good thing is that jumping does not cause any of your force, and there are a range of attacks that can be dodged just by simply jumping. However, some of those attacks will be followed up by more attacks, and you have to be able to get out of the way once you hit that level, because you can't jump and dodge. You can only jump. There is no air dashing, which, I mean, for what you can do in the game, it doesn't make sense. There's no air dashing, but I mean, it's whatever. It's the game they made. Now, along with that, there are a variation of weapons. I've already got, 5 weapons, I believe. I have 2 fist weapons. I have this magic lantern thing that stacks numbers. Well, stacks so it stacks numbers on the enemy, and then using your heavy attack, you get to actually explode it, and it detonates it technically. But what it does is you see me trying to use it there on the statue, and that's what it does right there. It uses those stacks that are on it and uses it to attack the enemy. And it deals a lot of damage once you start getting up to higher numbers. The multiplier raises significantly. So it's a really good weapon. It's just the range is really weird. So you have to be smart with how you're using it as well. And the honest big thing that I said, like the hardest part about it is gaining the ardor so you can get your mass multipliers up. There are a lot of hidden walls in this game. A lot of the walls you kind of walk through and you didn't realize that you walked through a wall at some point to get to where you're at because their areas are kind of covered. So it's kind of like a dungeon crawling style game in that aspect, whereas everything you see on the map is not exactly everything that you see. There are certain parts that are covered on the map and certain parts that are not covered on the map. And that's just really the honestly good things about this game. Like those are a lot of pluses I find in this game. The monsters are very aggro, and they continuously attack, especially the 4-legged canine creature you just saw there. That thing destroyed me pretty quickly. They hit hard, so like it's a really weird thing that this game puts you into so much pressure so quickly. It gives you the authentic feeling of a Dark Souls like game, because it's not something you just pick up and say, hey, I'm just gonna coast through this. It's gonna frustrate you a lot. It really is, because you're gonna get to like the point where I had like 70 something mass, and then 70 something ardor, and then I took one hit that crippled me while another thing hit me again, and I died instantly, and I didn't have time to heal. Now, you do actually have a heal, by the way, which is what your parry builds up. Your parry skill, whenever something's like close to death, if you parry it correctly, you have the ability to gain a resource. I don't know the name of the resource, to be honest, but it's the little resource that's the orange curve that's right next to your health and your your force. When you use that resource, it heals you over time. It isn't a straight up, potion heal. It's a it's a continuous healing effect over time, and that heal, it fills your HP up for the most part. Depending on, I guess it's depending on where your HP bar is at. Cause my HP bar is still kind of basic, I believe. I think I only added like 5 points on the HP, and so yeah, that's pretty much what that does. It's not very useful if you're trying to heal in the middle of a boss fight, because you have to heal and then wait for it to actually take effect and bring you to a point where you won't be one shot. There are armor sets in the game that give you various bonuses. Killing monsters also gets you, I guess, in the effect of a license, really. So you kill a monster and then you get their particular skill that gives you a bonus, and then you have to level that up as well. There are no other skills. There are no active skills, however, aside from your heavy attack and your basic attack. There is a down smash attack when you're in the air, and there's also your air basic attack. But you can't dodge in the air, which is weird because this dodge looks like it's built for the air. And what you actually are is it's still a question of what you really are, because you kind of just come into being as this dark creature, and then you don the suit, the stone suit that you see you running around in, and your armor kind of just becomes whatever stone you pick up and put on. So I don't really know what you are. It probably gets explained later on in the story. I'm still currently playing the game because I'm interested in what actually is happening at this point. It's just it's frustrating because I played Elden Ring. I beat Elden Ring. I didn't have a problem with Elden Ring. This game, however, is just like the amount of things you have to go through to try to like gain your mass up. So you can recover your ardor once you die, but you only get a percentage of it back. As well as running back to get your ardor is probably the most problematic part, because more than likely you're gonna try to run there and grab it and then get out of there so you can get to someplace safe. But the monsters in this game, like I said, they're very aggro. So it's not just an easy task to go back and get your ardor and then dip out. And don't die in a boss room, because then you're never getting your ardor back. Now, on the negative sides for this game, I do have to say I feel like there are a bit of bugs when it comes to loading and visual bugs. Like when the sun comes up, I'm not sure if it's the sun coming up or if just light reflecting in the background. But there's a point where I've had it where I was running around in the upper world, and the light came up, or whatever it was came up, and it literally blinded me. And that's probably part of the game. I'm not sure. And then there's also a graphical glitch where when you're underground, sometimes your whole screen just goes kind of black. Like not the fact that your screen goes black, you still have your UI there, but the rest of the screen goes black. And I've been back to the same spot multiple times to see if that was just a thing in that spot, and it's not. So it's something like that. And then there's a loading screen thing that happens every once in a while. I'm not sure if you're moving too fast or what the deal is with that, but it's just an issue when you're like in the middle of an attack and it's like you see 99% and you're like, wait, what? And it's just a thing in the middle of the screen and you're paused waiting for that 99% to go away. And it's not like it lasts like a millisecond. It's lasted like 1 to 2 seconds on my screen, and it screwed me up in the middle of a fight one time. So I'm kind of just like, I wish that was something that was probably fixed on patch day, like on release day, because the game is released already. Aside from those things, it's still a really good game. If you're into Dark Souls-like games, it's a good game to play. Like I said, I'm not even close to the end, I'm pretty sure. So I'm still pushing forward to see how far I can get before I decide to just completely call it quits. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This game is Grime, Colors of Rot, and it's out for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Honestly, if you like Souls-like games and Metroid-style games, this is going to be a game for you. It's very reminiscent of very older style Metroid games, as well as with the Souls level difficulty attached to it. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. And leave a comment if you are interested in playing Grime. If you're going to pick up Grime, let me know what your thoughts are on the game once you do get it.